guys. How's it going today?
Good.
Everyone having a good day so far? Not too bad? Did everyone get their reading done from last night? Yeah. How is the book going so far?
That's really interesting.
Interesting? Oh, good. I'm glad. All right, today we're going to be talking about setting, and we'll be talking about the setting of Liddy and how it affects the plot. So to begin, I have a little game. I have a tacky sack here, and as I pass it to you, I want you to tell me one thing how you would describe the setting of the book. It can be one word, it can be a couple of sentences, whatever you like. Okay? Parker.
Okay, so the plot is, the setting is around a big cotton mill, and there's a fence that's around it. So that's what I read.
Okay. There's a part that describes what the mill looks like physically, and Liddy does describe it as looking like a jail, which could be a metaphor because she is a servant and she may be trapped in the jail. Eli.
What's a metaphor? Is that the one that compares things?
A metaphor is a comparison that's not using like or as.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right. Great.
Thinking of somewhere like up north, like Massachusetts or Vermont.
Okay. Yep. Liddy was born in Vermont, and then she moved down to Massachusetts to work at the mill. So very good. Jacqueline.
Yeah, I'd say it's like mostly the mill too.
Okay. Yep. So that's very good. What everybody just described was the place of where the book is. But setting is not only the place, but also the time. So how does time come into play in the book? Think of the time frame, the time period, the year, stuff like that.
Well, I know the book is placed like a really long time ago, so I don't think that kids could really work back then. And I think the book had like slaves and stuff in it. So.
Okay, that's very true. The book was during the Industrial Revolution, and it took place before the Civil War. So there was still a divide between the North and the South, and there were still slaves in the South. So that's a good point. That makes a difference. Anyone else?
I think it took place in like the 1800s or something.
Yep. It took place in 1843, so that also does make a difference. So we know that setting is not only place alone, but also time. And both of these together can affect the plot. So how does the time and the place affect the plot in the book? Any ideas?
The setting is the reason for the whole book, because the story about a girl who works in the mills, and without the mills, the girl would have school.
That's a really good point. The whole book basically revolves around this setting, and it would be totally different without the setting of the mill and the time.
Yeah, I think that it's really cold where she works in the winter, and if she works somewhere where it didn't get cold, like somewhere like Florida where it was warm all year round, then the book would be a little different because she wouldn't get cold in the winter.
That's another good point. During the winter, Liddy is very cold in her room because there isn't enough heat, and that may not happen somewhere else.
Yeah, I think like if she was in Florida, she'd probably have like a whole new environment, like animals too. Like she wouldn't see certain things up north as she was in Florida.
That's true too. If she was in Florida, it would totally change the mood, the culture, everything about the book. That's another good point. So we decided that without the setting, the story would be totally different, right? So let's, for example, take Liddy and let's take her out of the 1800s and move her into present day. How would that change the story if Liddy was here right now today?
Well, she'd probably be doing something like fast food or something, like Dunkin' Donuts, like be a waitress instead of doing something dangerous.
Okay, that's true. During the 1800s, there were the textile mills, which we don't really have anymore in working condition today. And the dangerous point is also a good one. We now have a lot of laws in place to help people in the workplace and make sure that they are safe. Anyone else?
I was going to say something similar, like just I don't think, I mean, like, you can't be really young to work today. Back then, you could be really young to work.
Okay, that's true. Today we do have child labor laws, so you have to be 16 in most states to work, 15 in some states. I have a couple things to show you to prove to you that although this book is fictional, the Lowell Mills and stories that had to do with the Lowell Mill did exist, much like Liddy's. Even though her particular story didn't exist, there were others that did. So here we have a young girl working in the loom. This is at the textile mill in Lowell. This was taken back in the day. Remember the part where the girl working next to Liddy gets her hair caught in the mill? It got caught in this part of the loom right here because this part would spin, and as she bent over, her hair got caught, and then it kept spinning. The Lowell mills some of them are still standing today, and here's an example. You can go to their museum there, and this is what they look like from the outside of the mill. So this one obviously is a modern picture, and it's still standing today. I have a worksheet here for you guys that gives you the definition of the setting so that you remember that is both the time and the place. And it also has some examples in case you get confused. So for homework, read the next 10 pages, keep setting in mind, and enjoy your next class.